used to get afternoon, good morning, but morning, and to stand in front after two speakers, having thoroughly misled you about PR. But I really thank God for giving me the purpose. When I started my career as PR executive, I used to spend about 4 hours reading newspapers, and I used to spend the remaining 4 hours going and meeting journalists. And if you have those 8 hours in the day, you can definitely do PR for your own income and not rely on any PR agency. So having said that, what goes actually into PR is what Shraddha said and what Naveen said as well. But you know, you really have to kind of know the names, track all, make a list of people and things like that. But you know, you really need to know where to put the comma and where to put the full stop. It's all about communication. You know, if you do not, I mean, if you say the first thing that's supposed to be said last, that you say it first, I mean, you're going to mess up your whole story. I mean, I really like what Varun said in the beginning of the day, that they kept on, he kept on communicating to them and communicating to them and communicating to them, but yet after a lot of time, you know, but of course, it does happen with PR also, PR people also. I'm not saying that we can, you know, do it the first day right, but since we are in the, you know, we are interacting with them on a daily basis, you know, they are familiar with us, and it's also like, you know, we make up a team. And you know, like how we all work with colleagues, you know, if your colleague makes a statement, you exactly get that. You know, you see, I know what he's speaking about. It's just like certain rapport we develop with the media people in such a manner that, you know, we know. Like, for example, we used to maintain profiles of journalists like Prashant Hebar. I mean, this is all behind the story that I'm telling him now, but I'm sure he knows all that. We maintain profiles of journalists. We'll say what journalist would write what kind of a story, and we will approach him only. You know, because otherwise you're wasting your time. Though advertising is considered to be, the most effective way of communicating, because your cost per person, or cost per target audience is very, very less. Having said that, when you want to actually do, analysis of, say, you know, what is the way that we can reach, and what is the way that, you know, you don't want to be like looking like selling, you know, because when you get featured in magazines or things, like somebody mentioned DataQuest got him his largest assignment, that's because it acts like a third party endorsement, nothing like, you know, somebody else having understood what you are trying to do. It's not that, you're just selling, so you have to create. So when you are doing your messaging, you have to create it like a story. So why a PR agency, I would like to stress upon, because having little other thoughts come across, and the reason being, that is our business, that's our day-to-day work, like how you all work on your business plans, like how you all think of reaching your target markets, like how you all think about the expansion of your markets. We think about how well can we actually strategize, how well can we be in touch with the journalists, how well we can deliver value to our own clients. So there is a communication strategy that comes across, wherein you have, you know, I think the first book that was written on PR was by Sam Black, which is probably in 1950s, and till today it is being referred. So PR has been there from there till this point of time. Only thing is the way you look at PR is probably changing. Now, apart from all the newspapers and things like that, you do have your blogs and you do have your, so internet is that way really good blessing, because PR is also going to be turning or looking to internet for a medium of communication. So what I was talking about, basically, you know, how you can, so there's a communication strategy that you put in place, you know, and it's just like a roadmap, like how you all develop. From 0 to 5 years, you will figure out where you have to be. If you say from 0 to 5 years you want to be here, you please do your communication plan also from 0 to 5 years. What you want. And another thing is, I mean, we all get excited selling our own thing because we know how much we've invested in that, and we're not able to contain when we talk to others about it. So similarly, you open up a journalist. I'm sorry, Prashant, for having said this, but you really have to monitor that. You really have to be in focus, because if you get all your news out in one go, what are you going to talk to the journalist in the next time? I mean, it becomes old news. Once you tell your news, nobody is going to buy it. And you also have the contradictions of, they've already written it, why should we write it, how are we going to sell it to them, how are we going to tell the story to them? I mean, in case of E-Lagan, I did go through their website. It is definitely, because I don't know how to do my finances. I mean, somebody comes to me and say, we'll do it to you, don't be trouble or be worry free. So this is a very, E-Lagan is a very, very, very relative product to each and every individual. And like what Varun spoke about, Varun said they're selling for prices, something like that. So Varun, with all due respect to what you started, but E-Lagan is like Roti Kapda and Makan, okay, and Varun's business is, the topping on people. So, that's reality. I mean, please don't get me wrong, but that's getting reality. How many people, the middle income group and below, they have to pay taxes, but though they aspire for that, it's out of their reach. Maybe they'll get there. It's all about individual achievement. So, you really categorize whatever business you started, where in the strata you stand. So that also communication comes under your communication strategy. And then, so the strategy is the first, I'd like to say. So the strategy, and there's implementation. And implementation is what we do is about 80% is all legwork, running about, like how Naveen did, going from journalist to journalist and, talking to them. So either you go from a point of strength, which is like you have the product, or you go from a point of communication. This is how well you communicate. And you will have yours to listen to.
Thank you so much, Padma.
Ma'am, basically I don't have a company.
I know, but how do you introduce, if I come for taking your services, how do you introduce yourself to me? How will you introduce yourself?
The first word which comes to my mind is a person who is trying to go delve deep into the adventure called self-awareness.
Yeah, that becomes the description of your company. What I suggest, if you've not named your company, I think you should name your company after yourself. That's where the brand starts first. And in this mad world where people recognize brands, your name will be established, and it will take time. How long have you been doing this?
Past 4 years.
4 years. It takes a good 10 to 12 years for you to get the in-depth knowledge of any industry. So it will come to pass, and you should introduce yourself as your own name, establish your name, establish your brand. And it's like asking a great mathematician, how can I know that he's a great mathematician? So the mathematician himself is a brand.
There, I would like you to shout out your questions from there, and we'll address them.
Am I being audible enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. A quick question. Now, there are a lot of tools where you can spend for media and PR, right? So, for somebody who doesn't understand the media PR functioning or the business angle,
it is measurable. So you have to work with a sales team for that. What are the sales objective, and month on month, what kind of sales roadmap you have, and then tie your communication to that.
my question is very specific. I've spent 10 rupees on PR. How long do I wait to know whether that 10 rupees is paying or not? Do I deem?
When do you get your article?
Yeah. No. So my question is that.
When do you get your article out? It is,
Am I supposed to wait for 3 months, or am I supposed to wait?
No, see, it depends on the article that you have asked to write on. Is it your corporate profile, or is it something related to do with your campaign, or is it something that's related to do with the HR?
To take the question at
I think this is a very detailed, though it's a one line, it's a very detailed question.